Adhyaya 5. Shloka 27. Sparshan kritva bahirbahyan चक्षुश्चैवान्तरे भ्रुवोः प्राणापानौ समौ कृत्वा नासाभ्यन्तरचारिणौ यतेन्द्रियमनोबुद्धिः मुनिर्मोक्षपरायणः विगतेच्छाभयक्रोधो यः सदा मुक्त एव सः. In these two verses, Bhagavan is stating the meditation technique. In brief, this will be elaborated in chapter 6. Sparshan kritva bahirbahyan, leaving the external objects outside. Bahyan sparshan, the external objects. Everything that is outside. In all three times, present, past, and future. Bhagavan says, leave them outside. They are anyway outside. Why you have to leave them outside? Because they enter our mind. The objects flow into our mind through our senses. The present objects enter our mind through the senses. Likewise, the past enters in the form of memory. The future also enters in the form of imaginations, concerns. When our mind is engaged in thoughts concerning the mundane life, it is not available for meditation. Mind is busy, not available. That is what happens sometimes. You are sitting with the closed eyes, but the mind is busy. It is not available. Then meditation does not happen. Therefore, the first step is to make the mind available for meditation. Spend some time in making the mind available. Withdraw the mind from everything else. Now, one might ask how to withdraw the mind, because the mind gets pulled sometimes to various thoughts. One technique to withdraw the mind is vairagya. Apply vairagya. Make use of your vairagya. Bring your vairagya into action. When we don't have vairagya, when we are attracted to any object, our mind gets pulled to the object. The object becomes our concern. Vairagya is to be detached. Be detached from the object that tends to pull you. Then it is easy to withdraw the mind. So, first of all, withdraw the mind from the world. Make the mind free from all other engagements. Chakshushchaivantare bhuvoho. The eyes should be focused in the middle of the eyebrows. It is the literal meaning. We should understand what it implies. The eye should be in a position of rest. Not specifically focusing on anything. Madhusudana Saraswati explains it. The eyes should not be fully closed, because if the eyes are fully closed, one may get into sleep mode. Therefore, eyes should not be fully closed, and it should not be fully open also. If it is fully open, one can get distracted. Therefore, almost closed, softly closed. That is one point to be understood regarding the eyes. And another, the eyeballs are in a resting position. The eyeballs are relaxed. When the eyeballs are in a relaxed position, they will, as though, look into the middle of your eyebrows. That is how it will look like when the eyeballs are relaxed. So relax the eyelids as well as the eyeballs. Then प्राणापानौ समौ कृत्वा नासाभ्यन्तरचारिणौ नासाभ्यन्तरचारिणौ प्राणापानौ समौ कृत्वा. Prana and apana. Prana means breathing out. Exhalation is called prana. And apana means inhalation. These are two functions of our prana, two physiological functions. In fact, all physiological functions are governed by prana, including circulation, digestion. Among them, two functions are exhalation and inhalation. In fact, most of the functions of prana, they happen involuntarily. We don't have a say over them generally. For example, heartbeat. Majority of us cannot change our heartbeat because we don't have a say over the heart muscles. But then there are some people who can have a say over their heartbeat, some yogis. But in general, we don't have a say over majority of our physiological functions. But we can have a say over these two physiological functions, that is, breathing out and breathing in. These are two functions, two physiological functions that happen both voluntarily as well as involuntarily. In the normal course, you breathe involuntarily. In fact, you are not breathing. Breathing is happening. But sometimes you breathe. You make use of your will. You breathe deliberately. Both are possible. When we do pranayama, We are regulating our breath. We are breathing deliberate in a disciplined way. And it does a lot of work. When our breathing is regulated, all other functions of prana, all other physiological functions get harmonized, get into a proper tune. When the physiological functions are in harmony, it contributes to quietude of our mind as well. Even the mind becomes quiet. There is a very intimate relation, very close relation between our mind and prana, manomaya kosha and pranamaya kosha. Mind is the seat of our thoughts, our emotions, and prana is responsible for all the physiological functions. So, between our physiological functions and our thoughts, there is a very intimate and intricate relation. That is why when we become emotional, when we are excited, our prana also gets disturbed. Heartbeat increases, blood pressure increases. You can see changes in your physiology. And it is the other way around also. When there is a disturbance in prana, when there is a disturbance in any of the functions of prana, for example, increase in blood pressure, it leads to excitement at the emotional level also. Therefore, prana and manas, they are very closely related to each other. Any disturbance in prana can lead to a disturbance in manas, and any disturbance in the manas can lead to disturbance in prana. Therefore, in order to quieten the mind, it is important to quieten the prana. It is important to harmonize the prana. In our normal life, the pranic functions are generally disturbed, at least to some extent, because we keep working, we keep thinking. It disturbs our pranic functions. Therefore, during meditation As a preparation for meditation, the prana is quietened, prana is brought back to harmony. When the prana is in harmony, the mind quietens down. Mind becomes free from its restlessness. Mind gets relaxed. A relaxed mind, a quietened mind is suitable for meditation. So, Bhagavan is talking about harmonizing the prana. Nasabhyantaracharino pranapanau. The prana and apana which move in the nostrils. Both prana and apana happen in the nostrils. Samo kritva, bringing them into equilibrium, bringing them into harmony. How to do it? That is why in the beginning of any anushthan, japa or puja or meditation, pranayama is prescribed. If you look at puja, when they do puja, one of the preparation, one of the preparatory steps is pranayama. Pranayame viniyogaha. Then you will find that the priest or the one who is doing puja holds his nose for a while. It is pranayama. Pranayama is done with certain mantra. There is a mantra. During one part of the mantra, you inhale. After that, you hold the breath for a while. And then exhalation with another mantra. That is how pranayama is done. And it should be done a few times. Then the prana gets into harmony. It is one of the techniques. There is another simpler way of harmonizing the prana. Just sit quiet and observe your breath. You don't have to regulate the breath. Just allow the breathing to happen on its own. And just observe your breath. Then the breath regains its harmony. Because generally, when the breathing happens, our mind is in some way involved in the process of breathing, whether we know it or not. Our mind is in some way involved in the process of breathing. Therefore, it affects the breath, the rate of inhalation and exhalation, unconsciously or subconsciously. When you become just a witness of the breath, let the breathing happen on its own and be just a witness of the breath, then you are allowing the breath to be on its own. You are not involved in breathing. You are withdrawing your mind from the breath and allowing the breath to happen on its own. When the breathing is fully on its own, you are allowing it to happen on its own. It regains its harmony. This is another technique, a simpler technique rather. When we do guided meditation, I make use of this technique. Just sit quiet and observe your breath. Be a witness of your breath. Then the breath gets into tune. Breath regains its rhythm. And then all the pranic functions get into harmony. When the pranic functions are harmonized, even the mind becomes calm. That is why, if you do this technique, the technique of watching your breath, in a few minutes, say 5 minutes or 10 minutes, you will start enjoying a calmness within yourself. It is a very useful technique to compose yourself when you are excited or disturbed. You can make use of this technique to quieten yourself down. So, harmonizing the prana. Pranapanau samokritva nasabhyantaracharinav. Then yatendriya manobuddhihi munihi mokshaparayanaha. Mokshaparayanaha. The seeker, one who meditates, has to be mokshaparayana. Moksha is his ultimate goal. He should be convinced about it. His mind has to be convinced that moksha is his only goal. It is very important because otherwise one cannot focus. Why we are not able to focus on a given task? Why our mind does not get focused on a given task? Generally, our mind does not get focused when it is not convinced of the importance of the task. When our mind is convinced of the importance, it gets focused. Therefore, if the meditation has to be productive, the sadhaka should convince his mind regarding the goal and the importance of the present discipline as a means for the goal. My goal is moksha, and to attain moksha, I have to focus on this. I have to remain focused now. When the mind is convinced about it, it is not difficult to focus. Therefore, moksha parayanaha munihi, the seeker, is a muni. The word muni can be derived in two ways. Number one, maunat munihi. He is in mauna, silent. Does not speak much. In Viveka Chudamani, Shankaracharya says, Yogasya prathamam dwaram vangnirodho parigraha. The first gate of yoga, the first entrance to yoga is vangnirodha, mastery over speech. Not speaking unnecessary things, speaking meaningfully, speaking when it is needed, speak when it is needed, and speak what is needed. It is called Vang Nirodha. So, Vang Nirodha is Mauna. He speaks in a disciplined way when it is really needed, and he speaks what is needed. Speaking meaningfully. There are some people who practice Mauna Vrata. For one day, I will not speak anything at all. That day, they will not speak. If somebody asks something, they will show signals, traffic signal. And the following day, they will speak non-stop. Such Mauna Vrata, such Mauna is not useful. Mauna has to be meaningful. regulation of speech. And the regulation of speech has to be accompanied by regulation of mind, regulation of thoughts. That is why Krishna refers to Mauna as a Manasa tapas. Primarily, Mauna happens in the mind. The mind should be free from chattering, should be free from complaining. So that is Mauna. Mauna is also very important for meditation, as a preparation for meditation. So, Maunat Munihi and Mananat Munihi. It is another derivation of the word Muni. He does Mananam. He abides in the knowledge, Atmajnana. Therefore, he is Muni. Makes use of his mind properly. Entertains proper thoughts. Therefore, he is Muni. So, Munihi Moksha Parayanaha Yatindriya Manobuddhi. His mind, Manas, Buddhi, and Indriya, senses, all are restrained. Restrained Indriyas, senses, Manas, as well as Buddhi. Nothing behaves impulsively. The senses are not behaving impulsively. Senses are not destroying, distort, senses are not distracting him. Manas is not distracting him. Manas is the emotional faculty. The emotional faculty does not distract him. And so is the buddhi, the intellectual faculty. None of them take him astray because everything is well disciplined. He has put lot of effort to discipline his senses, discipline his manas, and discipline his buddhi. All are available for meditation. None of them take him away from meditation. He has accomplished a personality that is suitable for meditation by disciplining all his faculties. As it is described in Kathopanishad, the senses are compared to horses. Manas is compared to the rain, pragraha, and buddhi is compared to sarathi, the charioteer. These three should be in tune. When all these are in tune, all these are in proper alignment, proper meditation is possible. Just like a chariot with the disciplined horses, disciplined charioteer, and with the strong rein can reach the destination without any distraction. Likewise, when the senses, manas and buddhi are disciplined, one can meditate properly. Yatendriya mano buddhi vigatecha bhayakrodha. Such a seeker practices meditation. In this context, Krishna is talking about the Vedantic meditation, a form of meditation where you entertain Vedanta friendly thoughts, thoughts that are based on the teaching of Vedanta, like Aham Brahmasmi, Mano Buddhyahankara Chittani Naham. I am not the mind, not the senses, not the body, न च श्रोत्रजिह्वे न च घ्राणनेत्रे. I am not the five elements and their composite. न च व्योम भूमिर्न तेजो न vayuhu. Then what is my nature? Chidananda Rupaha Shivoham Shivoham. I am Chidananda Rupa. My nature, my true self is the pure consciousness, Ananda. I am the infinite Shiva, infinite Brahman, which transcends the world, transcends the body. Therefore, I am ever free from samsara. I am ever complete. Such thoughts are entertained in the mind. That is the form of meditation. prescribed in Gita. In due course of time, as a result of such meditation, he gets rooted in the self knowledge. The seeker gets rooted in the self knowledge. He gets rooted in the Vedanta friendly thought pattern, and he becomes free from Vedanta unfriendly thought patterns. The habitual thoughts or the thought habits that are unfavorable to Vedanta. All such thoughts are erased, eliminated from the mind for good. And then he enjoys the result of meditation. In fact, it is the result of self knowledge. Meditation is just a tool to make the self knowledge get roots in the mind. Therefore, it is the result of self knowledge. What is the result? Vigatecha bhayakrodha. He becomes free from all desires. Vigatecha, icha. All desires are gone. All ambitions are gone because he enjoys the satisfaction within. He is free from all incompleteness. Therefore, free from desires. Vigata bhaya, free from fear, free from insecurity, and free from krodha, free from hatred, free from anger. Yaha sada mukta eva saha. When he has established himself in self knowledge, he is ever free. Sada muktaha eva. He is ever free. He will not get into samsara once again. Moksha is not a temporary thing. Once you get moksha, it is forever. There is no expiry date for moksha. Everything in this world has expiry date. But moksha has no expiry date. It is permanent. So sada mukta eva. Even while living, he is muktaha, he is free, free from samsara. And even after death, he is free from samsara. Shloka 29. Bhoktaram yajna tapasam sarvaloka maheshwaram suhridam sarvabhutanam jnatva mam shanti mricchati. Bhagavan concludes the chapter. What leads to moksha? On seeing the previous two shlokas, one might think meditation leads to moksha. Meditation leads to an experience and then you get moksha. It is not so. Then what leads to moksha? It is the self knowledge, Atma Jnana. And Atma is Paramatma, the infinite Paramatma. Understanding the Paramatma is the only means for moksha. Then what is the use of meditation? Meditation, as I said, is just a tool to assimilate the Atmajnana. That is why he clarifies once again the knowledge of Paramatma leads to moksha. Paramatma is described Bhoktaram Yajna Tapasam. He is the receiver, Bhokta, of all our yajna, all our offerings, all that you offer in any altar, it is received by Ishvara. Sarvaloka Namaskaraha Keshavam Prati Gacchati. Any namaskara, any offering, any prayer, it is received and answered by Ishvara. You may pray to any form of Ishvara, but it is answered by the same Paramatma. Sarvaloka Maheshwaram, the Lord of the whole universe, the ultimate Lord, the greatest Lord of the whole universe. Suhridam Sarvabhutanam. He is the Suhrid. Suhrid means a well-wisher of everyone. Mam jnatva, having understood such me, Paramatma, Shantim Prichati, one attains Shanti, absolute peace, absolute freedom from samsara, moksha. Om Purnamadah Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti.